The New England Patriots and Eliot Wolf just made a smart statement. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out content for people just like you who want to hear about the New England Patriots. So do me a favor before we get started. As always, pound that subscribe button, like the video. I truly appreciate it. And at some point, I'll ask you something. Comment below. So to start this video, we're going to be talking about Eliot Wolf, talking about how he really wants to take advantage of the waiver wire. They have third priority, and so when it comes down to it, what are they going to be looking for of all these players that have been dropped by the other 31 NFL teams? So we're going to talk about that. As well, we're going to talk about, once again, there are potential trade rumors in the future, potentially. And again, I continue to try to put this to rest, but we're just going to talk about it briefly. So stay tuned at the end. That being said, if you haven't seen the 53-man roster cut after this video, check out my video from yesterday. It gives you detailed analysis of the players who made it, the surprises, the not surprises, all those different things. So we're going to jump right into it. And boom, first of all, some of the hottest names on the waiver wire. And what's funny is I was looking at all these different things. Bailey Zappi, what do you know? I just thought this was more interesting. Bailey Zappi, again, I think one of his big landing spots would be the Minnesota Vikings. On here it says Detroit Lions. No, that's not going to happen. Chargers, possibility. So it will be interesting to see where everyone lands. Bailey Zappi will land on his feet, that's for sure. I thought the other interesting one on this was KJ Henry. KJ Henry was the guy who just leveled Jacoby Brissett in the Commanders-Patriots preseason game, week 3, just the other day. And so apparently he is just a young talent. So 26 years old, so I would say, I guess, a little older, but raw talent. And so it's interesting, Dan Quinn, a defensive-minded coach, must have saw him and said, hey, I don't see the potential in him, or, it's possibility they try to get him on the practice squad. We'll see what happens with that. Just thought that was interesting. But we jump into the waiver wire and other players that have been dropped. The Patriots, what do we need? Say it with me. Offensive line. So specifically, tackle. So this is Geron Christian. This is interesting, and I always think this is very important when it comes to the NFL, especially picking up free agents. But Christian played for the Browns. Actually got some good starts last year at tackle and actually did a pretty good job. So what's interesting is last year we know that AVP was coaching there, as well as the offensive line coach Peters. So there's a connection right there. Do you want to go play with guys that you're familiar with, that trust you, have started you? Yeah. So I think right here, first off the bat, this is a no-brainer for the New England Patriots. I would love to see them make a move on Christian, and that's the thing when it comes to waiver wire. Being number 3 is nice. There's 2 other teams in front of them, which would be the Panthers and the Commanders. Panthers looking more for defensive side of the ball. Commanders, I'm going to be honest with you, have no idea what they're looking for. But that being said, I think that the Patriots, if going after Christensen, if they are the sole team, they have a good chance of picking him up off the waiver wire. I think this would be huge. Again, am I saying you should look for starters on the waiver wire? No, I'm not saying that. But bear with me for a second. You take Christian, you put him at tackle, put Nwenhu back at guard, and I think there's a possibility that line looks a lot better. Now, you're probably saying, whoa, pump the brakes. This whole preseason, this whole training camp, we've been trying to figure out the offensive line, doing all these different things, and now you want to throw a new guy in there? Yes, if he can help that offensive line, 100%. It's a no-brainer. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that when you look at the Cleveland Browns, that offensive line actually isn't bad. It gives you concern when a player gets dropped from a team, but then again, maybe there's a little, chip on his shoulder, that potential to, hey, I want to fight back, I want to make a team, and I want to prove myself. So, hey, Christian, I'm all for it, man. Let's go pick him up. Eliot Wolf, make some moves. Stop spending time on what we're going to talk about at the end of this video, and focus more time on figuring out this line. And if Christian can add value to it, go get him. So comment below. Do you think that Christian could add value to the offensive line? Yes or no? Comment below. Give me a detailed response. What do you think about this pickup? Again, I think it's a solid pickup. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he also played. He was actually with the Cleveland Browns for a while. Then he was traded to the Lions, played for the Lions, dropped on the Lions. Lions have a really solid wide receiver room and some young talent, actually, they just picked up in this past draft. So Peoples-Jones, when it comes down to it, he also is familiar with Van Pelt. So the question is, does Van Pelt see him and say, hey, we want to take him on? The question would be, do you keep 8 wide receivers, or who are you dropping? You're going to have to be dropping someone. Again, I don't see value in picking up Donovan Peoples-Jones unless Van Pelt is just like, he can be a weapon. We can really utilize him. But then again, the question is, who are we going to drop? Remember too, Kendrick Bourne is not on the roster yet. He's still the PUP. So when it comes down to it, you're still going to have to drop someone else in the future. So you pick him up. Let's say you don't drop anyone. You drop someone in a different position group. Then you have 8, then up to 9 wide receivers. Then what the heck are you going to do? I just don't think it's smart. Again, I've said all along, let's stick with the wide receivers we have. Young talent. Let them cook. Let them do what they got to do. So other offensive tackles that are on the waiver wire include Julian Davenport. A lot of these guys, and you're laughing like, why the heck are you on Wikipedia? Well, because some of these guys you can't find a lot on unless you go to Wikipedia. So you can see in this corner right here, he has been on a lot of different teams. He's been on different practice squads. So a lot of times when players are dropped, they're journeymen. They've been all over the place, and they are just trying to stay in the professional football league, in the NFL. And so when it comes down to it, you're going to see a lot of that. Now, 29 years old, a little older, and so we'll see what happens. Again, I think Christian is the better one. Jesse Davis, again, you're looking at this. He's been a lot of places, 32 years old. I would pass, but these are some of the better offensive tackles that are on the waiver wire. This one's a little more intriguing with Caleb Jones being 25, played for the Green Bay Packers. Again, is it the fact that he got dropped that it's just he's not worth the time and the development? That would be my guess. But then again, what do the Patriots have to lose picking these guys up? Again, I think Christian is a smart move. Comment below if you think that as well. Jumping into this, we're talking about Brandon Ayuk. I know you're probably like, I'm done with Brandon Ayuk. I'm done with Brandon Ayuk as well. But Another analyst coming out and saying, again, he could be a potential. The Patriots could be a potential landing spot for the star wide receiver out of San Francisco. Again, I don't want him. He's going to be way too much money. I feel like he's going to be drama. I'm done with it. And again, it's just funny that these guys continue to bring this up. If he lands somewhere, I'm going to tell you this right now. You look at Miami, you look at Tua, you look at Waddle, in these connections where quarterbacks, wide receivers from college come back together. So you look at Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, you look at Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith. So these connections where, hey, I was a quarterback in college, you were one of my top wide receivers, if not my top. So if he goes anywhere, the Commanders, watch out for the Commanders. You're probably like, Jaden Daniels, Brandon Ayuk didn't play at LSU. That's right. They played at Arizona State. So yeah, crazy. Anyways, comment below. What do you think about the waiver wire? What are you looking forward to? What do you hope Eliot Wolf in the front office, what do they do during this time? Deadline is at noon today. So we'll see what happens. Again, if you missed out on the 53-man roster cut, check out my video from yesterday. That being said, I appreciate you guys. This is Sports Talk Patriots. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. Hit that like button. Peace.